can't let him see me in the same dress.
Ma, you're not going anywhere until the doctor comes.
Sophia, you can't go anywhere now. I want you to see how good I look in my new dress.
You know something? We are really lucky that we found a doctor who makes house calls.
I know. When I was growing up in Minnesota, the doctor made house calls all the time.
I couldn't buy your car. Oh, it's not my type. I want a car that says practical. Your car says available. Well, just take off my personalized plates. Rose, I tell you what. Take the car for 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, just try it out.
Before my father finished the sentence.
You married your father?
My father told Stan that he had to marry me. I was pregnant.
You had a blowgun wedding?
If you live in the Amazon. Oh, Blanche, you look gorgeous.
Oh.
Shut up, Rose. Are you ready?
Yes, I guess. Stop!
The minister's here.
Oh, I need perfume.
Oh, perfume. Come on, let's...
Cheese ball, Father?
Yes, thank you very much. Now I know what I'm giving up for Lent.
Stanley, would you be a dear and get me some champagne?
It's always a pleasure to get a drink for an attractive woman.
To the garbage.
Don't worry, she'll get over it.
And even if she doesn't, who cares? We're gonna meet Burt
I always get this reaction when I wear the tight jumpsuit.
Tell me, what'd you find under any more of this?
Hi. Wrong button, that's fast forward. Oh, my, what are they doing?
I know what they're doing, but I never saw anybody do it at that speed.
It reminds me of my Uncle Ricky's rabbit farm.
Blanche, come on now. Be happy for her. She finally met someone. I mean, you go out with lots of interesting guys.
Name one.
How about that coach from the Miami Dolphins?
Oh, yeah. That night was kind of fun. The training room, the whirlpool, the adhesion.
Nobody would notice.
Come on now, Ma. What's really going on? You don't usually eat pasta for breakfast.
I'm carbohydrate loading. I signed up for the charity walkathon.
Oh, Ma, are you nuts? I mean, this is for people who walk a lot.
So what do? Hover? He's 12 when he stopped. He wanted to come home from school at lunchtime. I got nothing left up here.
Oh, Ma.
Well, she's gone.
That...
I know. She never could help Mama because she had hot flutters, and she never could take gym class, no, because she had a tip uterus, and she never did any housework because she had a spastic colon. Now, she has attached kidneys.
That girl is some kind of mutant. I paid my sister to sing for free in his piano bar.
You mean your sister Virginia?
No, I mean my sister, Miss Susan Anton.
Blanche, how could you tell such a lie?
He didn't believe me for a minute. He told me I was much too attractive to be related to her. But he gave us the room anyhow because he said he liked my moxie.
Really nice meeting you. I'm sure she's all right, but you call me if you need me, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Huh?
Goodbye, Elliot.
Goodbye, Dorothy.
Oh, thank you for being a kind and generous God.
On with this charade any longer. There is something else. I'm black. Now, if that's a problem for you, I'm white. Of course, that'll cost you extra.
Oh, Marguerite, I could kiss you.
And I don't go for that freaky stuff.
What's the matter, Sophia? You couldn't sleep either? No, I was sleeping great, Rose. I just wanted to show off my pajamas.
Pardon? You stop that.
You know something? I am having a real problem with your attitude.
Oh, really? Well, you can all just kiss my attitude.
Well, you wouldn't let me get the melon ball, so I improvised.
Exist.
Have you tried telling them how you feel?
They wouldn't listen.
I'm listening.
Yeah, only because they dump me on you and you feel you have to.
No.
But you don't have to.
David.
Just leave me alone.
I've missed her so much. She's always been my favorite.
I tell you, it sure makes me appreciate the special relationship I have with my daughter. Pussycat,
Yes, Ma.
dial your sister for me. I never remember the area code.
I guess when I was little, I didn't have to do anything. And I raised my daughter the same way. So that's why David is the way he is now. So it's all my fault.
Oh, now, Blanche, you can't blame yourself for David.
You're right. It's my mother's fault. I am going to give this list to David and see that he starts right away.
Yeah, right. 6 o'clock at Mildred's. We're putting together a list of demands to present to that scuzzball McCracken at work tomorrow. Good. Oh, and Edna, bring some sherry. Nobody bought that glaucoma story when you whipped out that reefer last.
Are we expecting company?
Yep, Barbara Thorndike. I introduced myself after the lecture. We went out and had coffee and talked for hours.
Dumped me as her partner, and then the two of you sign up together.
I did it.
Dorothy's a better bowler than you are, and I want to win this year.
Rose, how could you do a thing like this?
I admit it. I have a problem. I'm too competitive when it comes to athletics. There is one little thing. Well, that must be him. Rose, would you get the door, please?
Hello.
Hello. We thought you were Blanche's date, but you're way too old.
Hola, Blanche.
Hello, sweetheart. Come in. I want you to meet all my...
Rose, your father was a dairy farmer. You look for food in your freezer.
Psychiatrist didn't make me feel better. I feel better that you all feel better, but I don't feel any better. Not even a little? No. In fact, I feel worse.
Why worse?
He was my last hope. Now, I've got to get some sleep. I have to get up pretty soon. Good night, everybody. Good night, honey.
Good night. Boy, we really have a problem.
I know. The police are doing nothing about my jewels.
Not that. There is a woman in there so terrified something is going to happen at night that she's...
Phil, I just can't wait to testify in court. I want to see those guys fry. Well, everybody, you will never guess what I did today. What? I was in this parking garage, and I had to go to the dentist because I lost my crown and a nectarine yesterday, and there was no parking on the street. There I was.
You're with my brother.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
He's better with my brother.
If you change your...
But I just don't know what I'd do if I retired. No problems to solve, no challenges. I'd be afraid my mind would go soft.
Don't even talk that way, Rose. That's crazy talk.
It sure would be nice to have some investments to fall back on, though.
Our girl never had a better friend than Trudy McMahon. What, Ma?
Oh, nothing. My underwear just hiked up on me. Right while you were lying.
Why? Why do you say I'm lying?
A girl never had a better friend than Trudy McMahon. Somebody here doesn't...
Go Club. And that's where I first met Eddie, the Aqua Midget. He was a blue midget. Don't be ridiculous. He was a diving midget. What was his act? He used to jump off.
Not what I said. I said, Stanley, could I come to your hotel room? I have to see you.
Exactly. Here you go, Dorothy. How about a toast?
Look, slow down, Stan. There are a couple of things I'd like to say.
Okay, but usually the man makes the toast.
Stanley, one second.
Well, you can help me. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Frank.
Little special. Except Phil.
Sure, Ma.
Oh, Dorothy, can I make a little suggestion when you go for your makeover?
Sure, what is it?
Don't expect a miracle. In California. So it's you or nothing. Please, Dorothy, if we win this thing, I can die a happy woman.
Ma, I refuse to be a part of your neurotic need to be number one. Now just let it go.
How many challenges do I have left in life?
Selling encyclopedias, why didn't he try to sell us his set?
And you know what else is so strange about it? He didn't bring them in.
Rose, no encyclopedia salesman lugs around 26 volumes door to door.
Are you kidding? In St. Olaf, they carry 52.
What an idiot. Of all the lame-brained, moronic dopes. I mean, if ever I wanted to reach right through the phone and strangle somebody.
Not really a morning person, are you, pussycat?
It's this caterer that I hired for my Save the Wetlands banquet. He's a week late with the menu.
They're talking about us, and it bothers me. I know it shouldn't, but it does. I mean, how big a man is shouldn't make or break a relationship.
Not a word, Blanche. Rose, you were involved in a... Hello? Oh, look,
I'd like to talk in private. Why are we in the dream in the first place if she's throwing us out?
Jonathan, I'm just not sure I can go through with this.
Rose, I know this may not be the perfect relationship, but I care for you very, very much. If you feel the same way about me, we can look any problem, big or small.
Oh, I do.
why did you ask me that?
No reason, just wanted to get your honest opinion. Here are the answers to that questionnaire.
Aha.
If Dorothy finds out I hired a matchmaker for her, she'll kill me.
Oh, I understand.
By the way, I'd like to change the answer on number 10. I think a prison record does...
You have ever read a scientific journal?
Believe what you want, see if I care.
Hypersexual bit.
Oh, there you are, Rose. Good. Honey, I'm borrowing.
Dorothy, I love you.
I love you too. Goodbye.
Against dead people. I've never seen one. I never intend to.
Didn't you see your husband when he was dead?
Oh, no, I cannot look at dead people. That's why I don't even watch the news. Every now and then they sneak a corpse in on you. You could be watching a perfectly lovely little story about Central America. All of a sudden, bam, a dead body.
This is ridiculous. I mean, here we...
Oh, hi. How was school today?
Oh, pretty good. Almost half the class came back after the fire drill.
Price tag pinned to right sleeve.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm taking the tags off this dress and saving them so I can put them back on again tomorrow. That way, when I take it back, they won't know I've worn it.
Anyone else?
Honey, you sure you're going to be all right here alone?
She'll be fine. If someone breaks in, she'll just have to sleep with them.
What, honey? My new dress.
Oh, is that new?
Yes.
It's sort of old-fashioned looking. I wasn't sure it was new.
Oh, that's the style. The girl told me.
What was she, a pilgrim?
Come on, Blanche. You look wonderful, Rose. Absolutely lovely.
Well, I suppose I should go. I haven't had.
Oh, no thanks. I'm doing what we all should be doing, dieting for the Bachelorette auction next Saturday.
Not all of us. I told you, Rose, count me out. Now, even if it is for charity, I am not going to stand up there and allow myself to be sold to the highest bidder like some Holstein cow at a livestock auction.
Can you get those, honey?
Sure, Mom. Thank you for inviting us to stay with you. Oh, thank you for these lovely gifts. What are you going to do with yours?
It's a log. I'm going to burn it.
Boy, understand? None.
I'll start loading the car.
Don't take any of that. That's the pile I'm keeping here.
All of this?
Well, I can't part with those things. They're all so special to me.
What's so special about this?
Oh, look, on the phone.
The real phone, Rose, or your farmer in the Dale phone?
Oh, please, I haven't had a farmer in the Dell phone since I was 50.
Now, who called, Rose?
Jerry Kennedy.
Jerry Kennedy, the newscaster?
Uh-huh. He's coming over to pick up his daily planner. I took it home from work by mistake.
I know a lot of people prefer Sonny Crockett on the show, but me, I'm strictly a Tubbs man.
I've never seen the show.
You've never seen Miami Vice? It's only the best show that's ever been.
Days have really made a difference. Sophia, oh, thank you. Dorothy, Rose, I hope I wasn't too much trouble.
Don't be silly.
We enjoyed having you.
So did half of Miami.
Have a safe trip.
Got drunk and started slow dancing with the corpse. But even then, it was surprisingly touching.
And speaking of being touched, it's nickel beer night at the Rusty Anchor. I'm going to get my purse. You get changed because we're going.
Oh, Blanche, what if no one there wants to talk?
My fear, honey, but I just haven't, and performing is a nightmare for me.
Hey, we've all got our sad stories. Look, Blanche, we've practiced for 6 weeks. We've paid for our costumes. We told everybody we'd be there. Now, you're not going to wimp out on me. You're going to go to that recital.
He's your uncle, but you have to realize that we're both adults and capable of a caring, warm relationship.
How was the sex?
So good, we named it!
Professor Cooper.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Well, if I might have a minute of your time. Of course, if now's not convenient, I
No, please, I'm all ears.
Don't sell yourself short.
I won't ever ask you for anything again.
All right, I'll see you in a week. Now, I'll call myself collect tonight, and you'll tell him I'm not home, and that way you'll know I arrived. You two, goodbye. Oh, goodbye, sweetie.
Bye.
Come on now, get out of here. You've come back more times than Shirley MacLaine.
Thank you for flying in.
Can I pet your cat, lady?
Well, sure, sweetheart.
What's his name?
Mr. Peepers?
I had a cat just like it. His name was Harpo, but he died. I miss him.
Oh, well, you'll have to get yourself another kitty. Well, you're morning.
And I am still wide awake.
Me too. You know, before I met you two girls, I was never up this late. Except, of course, during the Jerry Lewis telethon.
Of course.
I was never a night person either.
Until I blossomed into young womanhood and realized I was even more devastating by moonlight. And what might that be, Rose dear? No. Better. Tripped me up with a trick margarine question. That evening, butter was spelled R-O-S-E.
Rose, you're embarrassing yourself. Please don't go on.
I have to, Dorothy. I've kept these bitter butter memories too long. As the pageant drew to its frenzied finale,
Is you already forgot lessons 1 and 3. Quit being an idiot! I stole $40 from you while you were listening to that cockamamie story.
She's not back yet?
No.
I don't understand. What could they be doing all this time?
You know what they're doing.
Yeah, I also know Stan. We were married for 38 years.
And a big breakfast like this since I left the farm.
really? You were raised on a farm?
Until I was 17, a dairy farm.
Wow, a dairy farm? Just like me. Oh, did you hear that? Gene was raised on a dairy farm. I didn't know that. Why didn't you tell me Gene was raised on a dairy? Feet on the ground.
I gotta hand it to you, Blanche. You handled it better than I thought you would.
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, I'm not thrilled, but as long as they're in love and happy and I don't have to call her Mommy, I can live with it.
Oh, hello there. How'd you do?
We came in second. Oh, that's terrific. What'd you get?
Treated badly.
Award, so I suggested they take them.
Blanche, both Rose and I told you not to interfere with their social lives.
I know it. I just thought it might be fun for them.
Oh, being set up on a date is never fun.
In Sicily, everything is set up. Dates, marriage, death, especially death. That's why whenever I go into a restaurant...
I guess I wasn't thinking.
That's your problem, Michael. You go through life not thinking. You go from town to town, job to job, obviously relationship to relationship. Michael, you're 29 years old. When are you going to grow up and accept some responsibility?
Look, I'm sorry about what happened. And I'm sorry
That means about another 48 hours.
Well, since we're gonna die anyway, I might as well be honest too, Rose. I slept with your cross-eyed cousin Nolan when he visited us from Ohio. And he was lousy in bed.
Hello. Sorry you didn't have an opportunity to experience our museum. I'd love for you to see my most prized acquisition, a magnificent pair of Gauguins.
What are you, a pervert? I was married for 45 years and never even saw my husband's Gauguins.
From the personals. You're not serious. Sure I am. Before I had a chance to write and suggest we meet, I got a letter from him saying he was being transferred to Saskatchewan. He's going to be the smudge pot supervisor of the first domed orange grove in Canada. Mr. Thurber, I don't believe I quite understand your problem.
Well, then I guess I don't have a problem.
Mr. Thurber, this is a crisis center. I'm a trained counselor.
Bench,
What's wrong?
ask him.
Stan?
I thought Rob was Bob, and I guess I said something I shouldn't have.
Stan, I'm gonna kill you! Stan, I'm gonna kill you! Do you know what this is?
Yeah, it's a plate I dropped. I was going to pick it up later.
Really going on here?
I made up that flimsy excuse hoping to run into you. Thank goodness it worked out. I really missed you.
Wait a minute. What do you think? I'm some kind of an idiot? I mean, you just said that you didn't even know Blanche and I were roommates.
That's right, and she believed it.
Oh, God, you're a wonderful actor.
There's no acting involved when I'm around you, darling.
Wake you. Oh, God. One at a time, Blanche. Anyway, I just wanted to say I think you're still doing a terrific job. Of course, there's some things I don't understand, like poverty. And
Sophia, when's that food gonna be ready to taste?
oh, my chip beef is ready.
Oh, well, I was more in the mood for something hot.
Mine's hot.
Well, I was more in the mood for something spicy.
Oh, mine's spicy. She was more in the mood for somebody that wouldn't test her gag.
Oh, Mrs. Doolittle, to show me that it didn't hurt. And I'd come out from under the bed and you'd put it on my chest, and next day I'd always feel better. You remember, Ma?
Works better as a teaching priest at St. Helens instead of a parish priest here. Well, we're going to miss you around here.
Look, I know priests are men and they have urges. What is it, lust? It'll pass. I do without you, get used to it. Get cable TV. Up my entire bottle of porcelana. Look at all these liver spots. I got more brown skin than the Temptations.
Ma, I'll get you another bottle. I wish you would at least try to get along with her.
I have tried to get along. Did I complain when I had to share my bed with her?
Yes.
Did I complain when she used my polygrip to fix the heel on her shoe?
Yeah. Like with a roast at the Friars Club.
It was just a joke.
Especially since no matter how old we get, I'll always be the youngest and the prettiest and by far the most desirable.
You know, once again, she had me in her corner right up until the end. I'm gonna hate myself for asking, but whatever happened to Lars's missing leg?
Oh, they found it at the annual Edelweiss in Jarlsberg Choral Festival. Uncle Bennett used it to beat off the wolves when he was setting up the bleachers.
Just as I...
So you see, sweetheart, I was really doing it for your own good. Treating you like a dog was really doing you a favor. So what do you say we just forget all about it now, okay?
Mario's gonna have to go home.
At the banquet. It looks beautiful. I look beautiful. Everybody looks beautiful. Suddenly, Charlton Heston walks in dressed like Moses. And he tries to part the dessert table. And when that doesn't work, he rounds up all the guests and leads them to the lingerie department of the...
I don't know. You certainly do your share of comparison shopping.
Come on, Blanche, what are you looking for?
I don't know. I just know it's not Jake. But I'm not going to let that discourage me from finding my Mr. Right, and I'm not going to compromise my standards either. I am simply going to look high and low for...
On fork at dinner. I know. Tonight you said our differences don't matter. But they did before, and they will again. Blanche, knowing you has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my whole life. Remember that.
Jake.
Blanche. Bye, Blanche.
Oh, you don't have to go. The two of you are like family. I can say this in front of you.
I knew it. I knew it. I just knew it. Oh, Stanley, I'm so happy.
Dennis had an affair and I've left him.
Dan, take your damn hands off me!
Oh, my birthday! I completely forgot! Well, I better make a...
Blanche, you keep that up. You won't have that much time left.
Hi, Blanche. Sophia, what are you doing here? I'm here for your surprise birthday party.
My what? What? You didn't?
Of course we didn't. Ma, there's no party. Maybe I should take you home now.
Where am I?
Poor baby. Well, I guess he wasn't homesick after all. Just old.
And for this, I fought my way back from a stroke?
I cannot believe this. If he had stayed here another lousy day and a half, we'd be rich.
What was that? Charlie was the only man she ever slept with?
And you admitted Stan was the only man you ever slept with?
And I admitted my shoe size was really 5.5.
I wish we had more time together. Wait a minute, what are we doing? The flight has been perfectly smooth. There hasn't been...
The ghost of the headless Indian roams the forest, crying out, "Where is my head? Where is my head?"
If the Indian doesn't have a head, how can he cry out?
Maybe he talks out of his behind like Cadet Master. Terrible misunderstanding.
Yeah, Rose, we just found out today that everybody thinks the letter you sent to Gorbachev was written by a 9-year-old girl.
You can't be serious.
Oh, the troop is back. Which one is Little Rose?
This one would have turned around and smiled.
Listen, Blanche, ruining a man's career for a one-night stand is hardly something to make light of.
Oh, now, wait a minute. You girls don't believe this. Well, I mean, I'm not denying that's me in the photograph, but I am denying that anything happened. I just dropped off his folder.
Them lying on television in front of 1 million people?
People lie on television, Dorothy. They do it on 60 Minutes all the time.
He's a married man running for election. Why would he say he had an affair if he hadn't?
I'm sure I don't know. And I also don't know why you just assume I'm guilty. Can you give me one good...
Would you tell us the truth about Bob Fredericks?
True. Absolutely true.
How about Howard Asher?
True.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but when I was dating, the man used to make all the moves.
How many men have you dated? Now, I know what you meant, and I'll tell you, I don't think that's old-fashioned. I think it's kind of nice.
How did you spend your evening?
Parent-teacher meetings. 5 hours of saying things like, well, you...
Gee, that might even get you on the 6 o'clock news.
Well, the table on the lanai is all set. I guess Rebecca should be here with Jeremy any minute.
Blanche, did Rebecca bring Jeremy to Miami just to meet you?
I don't know. She didn't say, and I didn't want to ask.
Oh, but you think he might be her boyfriend?
Oh, I don't think so. I didn't see any pictures of him when I went... Rebecca, Jeremy, is there something you all would like to tell me?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Please, Becky, let me do it. Blanche, I'd like to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. I'd take the rest of her, but I've got a bad back.
Have a place to sleep.
Look, I sympathize with your problem. For $75, you can sleep in the lobby and I won't have you arrested for loitering.
$75? That's a lot of money.
I know, ma'am. That's why I want it.
Go.
Gee, this...
Blanche, wake up. People are looking at you.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I was having an erotic dream.
You know, your father used to do a thing with feathers when we were first married. But he was too late.
Hi, Dorothy.
Come right in. Raymond, I'm afraid I have something to tell you. Oh, you shouldn't have.
I know. Shouldn't have done that either.
Yes, you should. Do it again.
For Louis the Ice Pick.
Ma, you said Charles de Gaulle.
Yeah, right. I slept with Charles de Gaulle. I could have been the first lady of France, but I married your father instead. A man who cleaned his toenails with a shrimp fork.
Joe Namath, your turn, Rose.
Okay, music history. Here goes. What famous Mozart composition, completed in 1787, is a serenade in G for 2 violins, viola, cello, and double bass in form...
Who spends all day trying to look up women's dresses. Relax. He doesn't speak a word of English. Watch. Vincenzo, you're a wrinkled old pervert, right?
But Sophia Vincenzo from rehearsal.
How is she, Dorothy?
Oh, no, the doctor says she's fine. She's just a little shaken up. Right now, rest is the best thing for her.
She's a tough old broad.
Well, I knew she'd be okay. Something similar happened to me back in St. Olaf. I was injured during a spirited game of Go-Wackanoggin.
There must be a support group for people like that.
We're sorry, Dorothy, but the bylaws clearly state that any derogatory remarks about the king are grounds for immediate expulsion.
Maybe you ought to join an organization that is a little less fanatical in its...
Ridiculous. We are not poor. We thought we had $10,000, and now we don't. But we're no better or worse off than we were 24 hours ago.
If that was a pep talk, it stunk.
Look at this. There's a celebrity auction to benefit the homeless, and they're selling a leather jacket worn by a major rock star at
Pines Retirement Home. Except here, the lights and the exit sign work.
What's our plan, Dorothy?
What is this, Mission Impossible? Do I look like Peter Graves?
You could if you'd put a rinse in your hair and wear a lighter shade of lipstick like I beg.
Here, I'll tell you what our plan is. Now, there's $10,000.
Money. You know, I always thought it was sad. I outlived my whole family. But I never knew it was going to be a punishment.
The hotel business started to slump. Hundreds of people got laid off. I went looking for work.
Ma, why are you sitting here in the dark?
Conserving electricity for those who will still be living past Saturday. Put out your hands, Dorothy.
What for?
So I can say hello like Magic Johnson. So I'm going to give you some of my personal things. My bank book, some stocks.
Oh, Ma, come on. Now, this is crazy.
65.
Now, watch how I do this. If you really play it cool, you can scare off the other bidders. 6,500.
I have 65. Who'll make it 7? I have 7. Who'll give me 75?
My turn. 75.
I have 75. Who'll give me 8,000?
8,000. Wisdom from the Human Torch.
Listen. Rose, if he really means that much to you, and he feels the same way, things will happen naturally.
Yeah, but if you don't want to wait, there are other avenues you can take.
Never really given Salvador a chance.
You know, I don't understand what you see in this man.
It's not something I can explain. Everything you say about him is true. Lord knows he's not terribly bright. He's not terribly good looking and not much of a provider. But I love him anyway. I don't know why. It's the little thing.
I really like the new carpet they... Me neither.
Now, this is ridiculous. This is never going to work.
Now listen, the caddy said Mr. Hope just finished his round of golf. He's got to be in here somewhere.
Well, what if he is? I mean, he's not about to do a favor for...
Excuse me. This is a private session.
What is going on here?
What does it look like? The opposition kidnapped our fighter and is trying to turn him into a sissy boy by making him play the violin. Come on, Peppy.
Ma.
Look, ladies, I guess I've got some explaining to do.
You sure do. Like why you...
Because her mother was not in the Daughters of the Confederacy. Oh, how my heart went out to little Kathy Lee, standing there while our servants snickered at her servants. But Mama insisted I break off the friendship or I wouldn't get brand new riding boots for Christmas. So I did.
Night. Set it up again, Rose. Rose, honey, how about a piece of bundt cake, huh?
Oh, no, thanks.
I'll try some, Dorothy.
Try some, right, like it's some big experiment, like you got no idea what it tastes like.
Somebody help me with the groceries.
Oh, great. That's Dorothy. I gotta get both dogs into my room. Come on, boys.
You know, Sophia, I'm not too sure that's a good idea.
Dorothy sees me with these two. She'll know I screwed up.
Yeah, but there's something I think you're not considering here. Sophia. Dear. Sophia,
Honey, are you all right?
I'm fine.
Oh, Rose, honey, can you ever forgive us?
Well, it all depends. Will you believe what I say from now on, even if it isn't what you want to hear?
Oh, of course we will.
Will you believe me when I tell you that somebody... Oh, hi, Blanche, how was your appointment with Dr. Rosenzweig?
Well, I was so nervous that I just rushed right in there and pulled off my top and said, well, what do you think?
What did he say?
He said...
Well, bill the insurance company first. The state takes care of the rest. So, you have some concerns about Sunny Pastures?
Actually, they're more like complaints.
Complaints? Oh, well, what you need to do is fill out these forms and mail them.
Insert bullets into your victim manually.
Okay, Ma, I'll try it again. But believe me, there is nothing in this world I hate more. I spoke too soon.
It's me, Stan. Wait, let me rephrase that. It's me.
Please protect us and watch over us in this our hour of need.
Amen.
Lucy. Hi. Oh, get in here. I want you to meet my friends. This is Sophia and Dorothy and Rose.
Nice to meet you, Lucy.
Let me get a look.
Blanche!
Dorothy! Go, Dorothy, go! Doctor, with the hands of a peasant and the soul of a poet. Oh my God, I'm writing already. Somebody take this down.
What is she talking about?
Forget her, Dorothy. You've got to see another doctor. Raymond is not a specialist.
Yeah, but what kind of specialist do I need?
Well, just call up Dr. Raymond and ask him. He'll refer you.
You have to.
I'm going to finish it tonight. I don't care if I never sleep a wink. It's just like giving birth, Rose. Once you get started, you can't stop.
Actually, you can, Blanche. We have French boutiques and valet parking and facelifts for Christmas vacation. But we have friends and family and a sense of community and caring, and that's pretty special. And our people are special, too. And if we have farms, that's great. Without farms...
Caring, they need compassion. They need attending to. You know, someday, Dr. Bud, you're going to be on the other side of the table. And as angry as I am, and as angry as I always will be, I still wish you a better doctor than you were to me.
Didn't find anything?
Oh, I found one job I wanted. I would have been perfect for it. But they told me I was too old.
What kind of job?
Assistant manager in a pet store. I don't know why they didn't hire me. I worked in a pet store in St. Olaf for 10 years. I mean, I was the one who thought up big squeaky toys for cows.
And we hire a band to play fish songs in pirate suits with muscles bulging.
Your mouth has a nice ring to it. Go get him, pussycat. Just remember, you and I come as a package.
Hi. Sweetheart, I am so excited.
Oh?
It's just that
I will be holding the baby next to my bosom. What a magnificent picture. God, I wish that thing didn't look so sickly.
I don't care if you're paying for dinner. What you want to do is crazy.
It's time to go, Sophia.
Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him the word that I'm not a rover. And tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone.
Oh, you guys really stink.
Black Rose, I need you. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Enough 34. But really, Rose, speaking from the heart and not from the makeup, you're the best. That's why I work you like a dog, out of respect.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want to kill you.
So,
Did you call about buying the Citrus Festival plate?
yes, I did.
Oh, Rose, you're beautiful.
How much do you want for it?
Well, they're pretty rare. There's only 5 of these. I'd say $2,000.
$2,000 a plate. What is this, a Republican fundraiser?
Look, these plates are collector's items. Plastic reindeer poop.
That's what happens when you aim too high.
And then I figured with the drought and the danger of fires, the one novelty item that would really take off this season is a little Santa wearing sunglasses driving a fire engine. So I put every last cent I had into that hunch. And I ordered... Why did this have to happen to me? Broke and homeless on Christmas. Why me?
Why you? Why them? Look around you. You're not exactly alone. This is probably the only Christmas these kids are going to have. Think about that for a while. It might take your mind off your own self-pity. I've got to go back to work.
I just had a thought.
Congratulations.
Maybe we should sign Mary up for some natural childbirth classes.
You know that's not a bad idea. I wish I'd known about them when I was pregnant. I didn't know what to do except scream at Stan never to touch me again and call him every name in the book.
Except whatever's in the fridge.
It's nice that you two have worked out your differences.
I think the problem with him before was that he was on the rebound from Karen, but now that he's gotten over her, he's all mine, and I think we appreciate each other more. Everything old and familiar has become new and exciting.
Oh, that's nice.
Unfortunately, when he got to Duluth, he took a left instead of a right, and he wound up back in St. Olaf. That's how he got his nickname, Wrong Way Geflickenflocken.
Rose, how is this a story about faith?
Well, when he got back, it was the dead of winter. Tired and...
James and Thomas, so let them down easy. Frank and Eddie, flush them.
Oh, Rose, now don't be so upset. You seen the way Miles looks when you tell those St. Olaf stories?
He looks like he's listening.
There you go. Look, the Jersey Shore, summer 1939.
Pop sure loved playing with you kids. Why do I look so upset?
Oh, Ma, don't you remember? Pop was a big fan of Jean Harlow's back then. You hated it when he made sand breasts in front of the children.
Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming, the drums coming everywhere. Say it, say it.
If it hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't believe it either, but while I was being operated on, I had an out-of-body experience. I was floating, looking down at myself. It was like...
But the mirror on your bedroom ceiling?
Thousands of offers. Teachers, doctors, astronauts. I even said no to a journalist famous for his work on 60 Minutes. Now, if that's not fidelity, I don't know what is. Then I find out that the only man I ever loved cheated on me. What is it?
Did my father ever go fishing?
What?
When I was a kid, I always fantasized about the kinds of things my father and I would have done together. Going fishing was always my favorite. Did he?
Speaking of God, I made a little promise that if he got me through this operation alive, I would tell you the truth about how I got this hernia.
You mean not from lifting up the sofa?
Oh, please, it's Wicca. A few of us gals thought it would be funny to put Gladys's VW on the lawn while she was having her feet sanded. The Sicilian, yachts means Apollo.
Ma, will you stop that?
It wouldn't hurt you to learn how to kiss up.
Stanley, one question. If things are going so well, what is it you want?
Glad you asked, babe. I need your help. I want to export the Zborny to Japan.
He finally came back, having invented Hernsberg's press-on warts.
Who bought those?
Hags, mostly. Don't you see, he was successful and he wanted Gunilla back.
Well, what happened to her, Rose?
Stop being so vain. You can't stay 42 forever.
Yes, you can. If you eat right, exercise regularly, and live with women who look a lot older than you.
Tell me, Rose, is kill the bitch a tradition?
All sex stories. Sicily, 1922. I stopped by a little trattoria. No, wait. I'm thinking of the best meal I ever had.
I'll get it.
I spit on you. Unless, of course, the sister would like to spit on you first.
I'm her daughter, Dorothy. You'll have to excuse my mother. She suffered a slight stroke a few years ago, which rendered her totally annoying. And what brings you here?
The follow-up interview. We have very strict guidelines when selecting postulants, so we're going to put Sophia through a battery of psychological tests. It helps weed out the crazies and undesirables.
Sorry, Ma.
Can you imagine Rose is trying to blame the whole thing on me? That woman has one hell of a lot of nerve.
I hate it when he does that.
Mrs. Devereaux, there's someone in the bar for you.
Oh, God. Oh, girls, this is it. Can you see him, Rose?
Yes, I think I can. He's coming this way. He's very handsome.
Well, mercy me. Looks like my little magnolia just turned into a big hoe. A wheelchair satisfies a woman. It's a short story, but I think it makes my point.
Hello, my lovelies. Sophia, I'm sorry I tossed you out last night, but it was for a good cause.
That's okay, Blanche. Andy took me home in the limo, and boy, did we have fun. I figured out why they call it a moon roof.
Putting the cart before the horse.
And that's bad?
Look, Rose, I just don't want to see you get hurt.
Oh, Blanche, Doug and I were wondering what's happening with the sleeping arrangements.
Well, I'll be there in just a moment to get you two settled in. Now, if you sleepyheads could wait just a...
What are you talking about, Miles?
Rose, my real name is Nicholas Carbone. I was an accountant in Chicago. And my biggest client was the dead man we saw on the TV news bulletin this evening.
The cheese man?
That's right. But Rose, you have to believe me, by the time I found out about it, I was too deeply involved.
I guess I love him. I can't believe it. Of course, I don't love the fact that he still keeps his toupee in the lettuce crisper. But it does look fresher, and you deal with it.
Dorothy, if you do love him, tell your mother.
No, excuse me, you'll pawn the ring. That's my final word.
To keep Stan warm on those cold winter nights, a head coat. Lois, this is just too much. Where'd you find such a ridiculous... And he's saying, yikes. Oh, here, honey, this is for you.
I'm afraid to open it. What if it's from Myra?
Oh, come on, Rose.
Well, what if it's got a deadly black spider in it that's going to leap out and bite me the minute I open it?
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to join Dorothy and Stanley in blah, 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 followed by rings and into the vows.
Dorothy, I vow to you that my love is pure.
Now, I have to go to work, and I don't want you to worry about me, so I'm going to say to you what you said to me the very first day you dropped me off at school. See if you can find someone who looks clean to drive you home.
Two smart-mouth New York lawyers. So one thing led to another, and, well, Big Daddy and his friends ended up sort of skimming them across Higgins Pond. It was all in good fun. At least that was their defense. Anyway, that was the night Prohibition started. Barbara, I just hate that name. Why couldn't you have found something more musical, more southern, more beautiful?
Sorry, Blanche. Look, I know you don't like the name, and I know you think that I'm bringing it up wrong.
No, I just don't see why you have to feed her when you...
Once every year, the women of my family got together. They danced, they laughed, they ate. It was a celebration of mothers and daughters. Don't turn your back on your mother, Rebecca. Don't let your little girl grow up without a grandmother. I'm 85 and I still cherish all the memories that I had with mom.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, ladies. It's me. I was hoping to play a trick on you.
Silly rabbi, tricks are for kids.
Look, ladies, I know it's a lot to ask, but I just had to see you.
I have my plan all worked out step by step. First, he'll comment on how stunning I look, and then I'll say, "Oh, John, did we have a date tonight? Oh, I completely forgot." And as he crumbles, I will show him the door. What if he doesn't comment on how stunning you look?
You would be lost.
It's wonderful seeing you again. I'd forgotten how charming, how vivacious, how lovely.
2 nights and a rabbi walked into a bar. And the first one said, And however you answer, I'll believe you. Did you tell John Noretti to go away the night of my senior prom because you didn't like the way he was dressed?
Well...
Liar! You knew John showed up that night and you didn't tell me, and you didn't want me to go out with him tonight because you knew he'd bring it up.
I can explain. Just don't lock me away in another ill-equipped nursing home.
I promise nothing.
It's true, I did send him away that night because he was dressed like a hood. And then he started to mouth off to me. So I told him to leave and not to come back until he was wearing a decent jacket and a tie.
Yeah, but why did... Go ahead, Uncle Angelo.
Anyway, I spent so much money on this girl, I forget about my business. The bank foreclosed, leaving me flat broke. I got no savings, no place to live. And I gotta tell you, a lot of women find this a negative.
Well, it is my production, and as they say, the show must go on.
Ah, pussycat. It'll be like the old days. Come on, just one more time.
Get a little drunk, and you land in jail.
Uncanny.
Do you mind?
Go right ahead. You won't find anything.
What I believe they refer to as a purse gun. And it's been recently fired.
I don't understand.
Tell you about how the St. Olafians were one of the original lost tribes of Israel? Taxi! I know you were going to say that.
Look, Rose, sit down. Now, you are not going to leave. Rose, we need you here. About that. Every last cent is gone. No mas dinero.
Dorothy.
But I'm your sister, and I'm here for you.
I guess I've just been feeling sorry for myself, thinking I'm all alone, no one loves me.
Number 1, lose 200 pounds.
Done it.
Number 2, never be burdened to children in old age.
Moving on.
3, make amends with Guido Spirelli.
Yeah, dump him like you do all the rest.
Well, ordinarily I would, but how can I do that? He's been dreaming of me for over a year, and I care about him. I mean, I care about him when he's a soldier. Oh, I said things to him last night I've never said to anybody. Clean things.
You enjoy some of that money while I'm still around. Here's a molar. Buy yourself something pretty.
That is so sweet. Well, I tell you what. Let me make you a cup of tea.
Oh, what am I going to do? Listen, girls, don't one of you have a story about some man who wouldn't sleep with you?
Dolly, I sure don't.
Stop it. I have a story that'll end all stories.
Oh, Rose, please.
Honey.
Charming, you are the anti-Trump.
Excuse me, Dorothy, but Mr. Griffin really hates it when people kiss up to him. Isn't that right, Your Excellency?
Absolutely right. And just for that, no parting gifts.
All right.
Just an emotional owie. And do you know why? Because I like myself. The new me is starting to get honked off. Look, I'm lonely and scared and you're having a party. Can I come in or not?
Look, Carol, now I am going to be honest here.
I feel like I need a spatula to keep them off me. Good thing I don't have one.
Oh, shut up.
Why, Blanche, whatever is the matter?
You know very well what the matter is, Dorothy. This stupid moon has all the men acting crazy. Nobody wants me. It's freaky. Is he still here?
Come on, Dreyfus, you're always the last one to leave a party. What's that? Timmy needs help? I know you always hate it when I do that. Good night.
Rose, all I'm saying is I just want to make sure you're prepared.
Look, I studied that yearbook as hard as you did. Ask me anything, anything.
Okay, I will. What were the school colors?
The brick and a kind of a cementy color between the bricks.